In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Card Kingdom pre-order prices for Commander Masters. I posted a video yesterday looking at TCG Player's pre-orders, and TCG Player is historically not the best or most reliable for pre-order prices. Obviously, buying pre-orders anywhere is a gamble because it's hard to know what the product prices are actually going to look like once the set is widely released, but that's part of the nature of the game. So, let's jump into the video and take a look at Card Kingdom's pre-sale prices before Commander Masters actually releases. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. If you didn't know, I've launched a channel membership called Loveshack Lounge. For $5 per month, you can join and get immediate access to exclusive badges, emotes, and the ability to vote on topics for future videos, as well as early access to certain videos and exclusive deck profile videos posted monthly, plus monthly product giveaways. And for the month of August, anyone who joins the channel, even if you cancel your membership later, will receive a free Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster pack, all of which will be open live on stream at the end of the month. To join, click the join button that'll appear on mobile or on desktop platforms, and I hope to see you there. Alrighty, so you'll see right off the bat, I mean, TCG Player had a lot of prices that were just wildly through the roof. But some of them start to come down a bit more reasonably as we get a bit closer to release, and obviously I'm going to point out a few specific examples here as we go. I am, a big fan of Card Kingdom for selling, and I think a lot of times they have solid-ish prices on the singles that, like, to purchase. But they also do tend to overprice things a little bit. I've noticed some cards, end up having like almost a 15 to 20% markup over TCG Player for like lower end stuff. And I don't know if that's just because they have to make some level of return off of some of the stuff they're shipping and whatnot. But I always recommend shopping around for the best deal. But Card Kingdom definitely does have some really good prices sometimes too. So I don't want to discredit them. And the other thing is they have the option sometimes for like, very good, excellent. You can buy cards in lesser conditions and they mark the price down. So if you're just looking for something to play around with, it's not necessarily the worst option. So enough of that. First up, we've got the sealed stuff, right? So we've got Commander Masters set booster boxes, $400. That's a lot. But again, that's kind of the going rate. In this case, actually, TCG Player has them a little bit lower, around $375. You actually technically get them better there. I would still wait. I still do think these set boxes are going to drop a bit once release actually happens. But we'll have to see. It's just going to be dependent on the demand. And if all the people that are out crying about the price put their money where their mouth is and decide not to purchase. Commander Masters, you can buy all 4 decks for $384 plus tax and shipping, of course. If I do that math out real quick, it's about $96 a deck. Definitely a little high, but when you take into consideration the fact that the Eldrazi deck's like $150 and the Sliver deck's like $120, it's actually not the worst pricing option for the deck. I still think these decks are overpriced, though. I've sort of, ad nauseum gone into detail on that, so I won't waste your time anymore with that. I would wait on this, though. I wouldn't touch 384. Collector booster boxes here, they're just straight up beat by TCG Player. TCG Player is around 212. I think was the cheapest I saw. So these are 234. I don't really understand why they're that much higher over here. 234 divided by 4 is $58.50 per pack versus 212 divided by 4. You're paying about $53 per pack. So you're paying an extra $5 per pack if you're going with Card Kingdom over TCG Player here. There's just things you need to take into consideration with these collector boxes and kind of wait and see. I've already seen a couple opened on YouTube, and some of them pull really well, and others, you can whiff hard, which, again, the nature of the game, I know, but just want to keep that in mind. Draft booster boxes here around $299, basically the going rate. I actually think TCG Player was around $293, $292, so I know it's not a huge difference in price, but still you're saving a little. $299, let's just call it $300 for the sake of math. That's 25. No, I'm sorry, I messed that math up. This is why I don't do this live usually. That's 12.5 per pack, so I mean, not horrible, but it's sort of one of those things you got to take into consideration whether or not it's actually worth it for a quote-unquote premium product. Commander Master Sliver Deck 125, that's high. You can get this on Amazon still currently for 83, so just food for thought. 70 for the Planeswalker Party deck's actually lower than Amazon and lower than the regular going rate, so that's not awful. This is probably the cheapest you'll see this, I would think, at least early on. Collector booster pack 60, that's a bit much. You're better off just buying a box at that point. Set boosters at $16.99, that's kind of wild. Just to think it's, for a set booster being that. But I mean, you do have a chance of, I guess, 6 rares, or in a god pack, if you will. Draft boosters around 12.99. I think they'll be around 12. I think if you're really lucky, you might be able to find them at 10 at some point. That would be the ideal scenario, be able to pick up draft boosters for 10. But we'll see what people end up doing. Eldrazi decks out of stock at 124, and enchantment decks out of stock at 75. Nothing really shocking here. Enchantment deck's really good. I think at like 75, it's not horrible. I think the Eldrazi deck at 125 is still way too much, but that's just my opinion. Now, looking at some of the pre-orders, Jeweled Lotus at 65 is not egregious. It's basically around the same as it is on TCG Player. I still want to wait and see where this card ends up. I have to think that there's a bottom out point for it for a little bit where you'll be able to get it lower. I don't hate 27 on Fierce Guardianship, but I would wait, I think, because it's just probably going to end up dropping at least, $5 to $10 beyond what we're seeing on these, initial pre-order prices across most of the sites. 25 on Cyclonic Rift, that's pretty much dead even with TCG Player, but it's also what the card currently costs for its regular version, so I would wait. 27 on Deflecting Swat, I said this last night too, I just think that's too high. Go wait for 20. I think you get this at 20 or under, it's a good deal. Great Henge, I mean, it has to drop a little more, right? With the Lord of the Rings version. I mean, Lord of the Rings version is about the same price as this pre-order right here, and you get a much cooler, much nicer card. But if you're not into the Universes Beyond stuff, I can see that. Deadly Relic 17, this is going to drop more, so just wait. Darksteel Monolith at 20 is actually not a terrible price. I think this card's really, really good, and it's locked in the Eldrazi deck. So if you can't get the deck, I mean, $20 on this might be one of the few ones where I'd say maybe worth it to bite the bullet and try to grab it, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm personally not going to, but I don't really have a need for the card right now. But if you're interested in it, I don't think 20 is horrible. Doubling Season at 60 is okay, but I really, and maybe it's copium, but I'm hoping this goes down a little bit more, because I really think this card would be ideal if this card was like mid-40s. Ulamog at 22 is okay, but I think it's going to go down more. Demonic Tutor at 27. I mean, TCG players got it lower already by a couple bucks. Let this hit like 20 and then buy it if you need it. That's my recommendation on Demonic Tutor. It's hard to say for the Commander deck exclusive stuff. $10 for Rise of the Eldrazi. Will it drop? I don't know. Will the deck drop? I guess a lot of that plays into part. Land tax, $17.99. I think it's a decent price for this, actually. Another one I would really consider looking towards if you're interested in it. This isn't a horrible pre-sale price. $8.99 for Heroic Intervention is a good deal. It's a good card. Pearl Medallion. I think all the medallions around 20 is interesting, but we'll see where they go. It wouldn't shock me to see them stay there just because of how few times they've been reprinted, but it also wouldn't shock me to see them dip lower. So, if you're not in a rush, just wait, because they even have some of the other medallions like Ruby at $12.99 versus the other one. So, I think we may see a bit of a dip. 30 on Finale. Devastation feels high. That's going to drop. Hatchery Sliver at $8.99. This is a cool card. This card's got a shit ton of potential for other combos. I don't hate this price either, actually. I think it's kind of a good card, and again, depending on how the deck goes, this may be a card that, in conjunction with the Biologist, could be really solid. Personal Tutor at 22, it's too high, I'd wait. Capture of Jingzo is actually way below TCG Player at 35, not bad. I just don't know that the card's really worthy of it, because I just don't think it sees enough play. Titan of Lajara at 20 is okay, too. That might be a good card in general. Archfiend of Despair at $17.99. It's over half what it was with Battle Bond, so we'll take it. Composer of Spring, another genuinely really solid card from the Commander decks at 15. Again, could it break out and be something? Possibly. Arachnogenesis at 20. Not bad. It was a $60 card before. TCG has it around 29, 30, so okay. Smothering Tithe way too high at 25. I think they're just doing that because it's a mythic, but that's way too high. It's like 17 on TCG Player. So again, another reason to really shop around. Abyssin, they got at 35. Much cheaper than TCG Player. Morphon at 12 is not horrible either. It's a good card. And, if you need one, it could do worse. $8.99 on Toxic Deluge. I still need a copy of this card for a few other decks, so I don't have to keep moving stuff around. I actually am hoping this drops a few more dollars. But we'll have to see if it does, because right now, it's looking like an okay deal. Creator for 25 is okay, but I'm holding out hope it goes lower. Kindred Dominance, I will buy this probably at this price. I'm going to wait, but if it's still this price, close to the release date, I'm actually thinking I'm going to grab it. $20 for this card's not bad for anything kind of tribal you can slot it into. Balefire Dragon at 15 is really good. Just a really good card. Mortal Sun is okay. I don't know. I wouldn't really touch too many of these like cards that are not high demand. Not to say that people didn't want them, but it's just not. $8.99 on Urza is okay. I think they're kind of in touch with some of it, with where people are going to be looking for prices, obviously, depending on the card. Battle at the Hellvault for 20 is a little steep, I think. for the Ancestors. Pretty good tribal card out of the Sliver deck, I believe. 15. I could see this going up. I could also see it going down, but I could definitely see it going up. Extraplanar Lens at 12 is okay. Some of the new stuff, I don't really want to touch the new stuff. It's too hard to say whether or not it's going to end up being in demand. Loyal Retainer's a really good card. 20 bucks makes sense. We'll see where it settles. You got Bribery, way too overpriced for Mythic. Selvala at $8.99 is actually pretty good. $11.99 on Miri. I think you'll see it drop lower. I mean, a lot of these are really just kind of looking and seeing where they're at now and thinking, well, how much lower is that going to go once the set actually drops, you know? Steel Shaper's Gift's a great card, got upshifted, but $6, I don't know. I'd pay that if I didn't have one. Slibber Hive Lord is in the actual main set. It's not in the actual main set, sorry. There's some cool stuff. Azusa at 5. I mean, how much lower is it really going to go? I think you got to, you know, it's probably going to be right around there. Naked Spaceman, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, 15. Okay. You know, it's definitely interesting to see where it all settles. The Battle Bond lands at $10.99 is wild. These are cheap, like almost always cheaper currently. I think they're like 8 or 9, so I would not touch that. 3 visits at 5 is actually pretty good too. So, I mean, there's a lot of good pre-order stuff around here if you shop around. But the Borderless stuff is a bit more interesting, or the variants, whatever you want to call it. You know, $11.99 for Soul Ring. I really want this Soul Ring. You can see I have it in my card, actually. I've considered buying it, but I'm just going to wait. They actually had it for pre-order at $4.99 at one point, and I passed on it, and I'm kind of regretting it now because I would have grabbed it at that. But I think, you know, it's like 23 on TCG Player, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's an uncommon. I don't think it's going to be crazy. I think for the free cast spells, you know, Deflecting Swat and Fierce Guardianship, these will drop, but I don't know how much. Probably like $30 each at the end of the day. Maybe like 25, 27 on Deflecting Swat in terms of like when's a good price to get it. Dragon Borderless, if you like the profile art, that's not a, you know, that's not a price I would recommend yet, but I would say definitely keep an eye on it. I'm buying Command Tower all day at $2.99. That's a good price. If you just want one for like a variant. 40 on Finale isn't bad either. Arcane Signet at $7.99 is a little surprising that it's that high, but I really like this card. These are like staples in Commander, so it's nice to see like the option for different arts. A lot of the profile stuff is cool. I don't know how it's gonna settle. I don't like a lot of it personally. That doesn't mean people don't. Kindred Dominance is really cool at 35. I would wait, maybe let it drop another like $7 to $8, if not more. Flawless Maneuver at $8.99 is not bad. I would definitely not buy the regular one at that, but the Borderless, that's okay. We'll see whether or not this sells, you know, 5 or 10. Smothering Tithe, Borderless looks really cool. $34.99, right around the price the Borderless or Double Masters is, so I guess it's probably okay. Grand Abolisher, some of the nicest artwork I've seen in so long. $25 feels a little steep for it, though. I think that the art is worth it, but the card itself, I think, will go cheaper. Pure Steel Paladin, too, looks really nice. I mean, these are $6. You gotta just kind of weigh whether or not, like, we're gonna see how much it's gonna dip, you know. Jeweled Lotus Borderless sold out at $150, so it's definitely selling that price. I wouldn't touch it at that price. I said last night TCG has them around $120. I think might be a better price. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But you know they're selling, so there's a market for them. Demonic Tutor at 54 sold out. Balefire at 24 sold out. That's a good deal for this. $24.99 for the Borderless, I think, is a good deal. Reliquary Tower at 10 sold out. Mikaeus sold out. I mean, these did have lists, so you just, you know, this gives you a solid idea of what people are willing to pay early on, at least from, you know, a site where, you know, they have relatively fair pricing for a lot of stuff, but again, some stuff is still pretty high, so it's not on me to tell you what to buy and what not to buy, but I'm just sort of posing the question, you know, what do you think? And saying what I might grab, you know, 50 on Personal Tutor Borderless is too high, but could it, you know, will it drop? We'll see where it goes. Steel Shaper's Gift Borderless at 7, that feels like a good price to me. You know, that feels like a nice alternate art. Look at the very goofy Zakama. I love these, like, Borderless uncommons, Kodama's Reach and stuff. Those are all things I want to pick up once the set comes out. And we get a chance to see what they're looking at. So, CardKingdom's prices are a lot more fair across the board with a few exceptions that we kind of pointed out. This is $1.50 for this here, this Slibber Grave Mother. This is the like a hard stock version of it. You can't play in the actual deck. And this is like selling for 60 on TCG Player. So just, again, that makes no sense. It's not realistic. It's not feasible. Don't use that as a real price point. But, like, just be aware of the fact that, like, resale prices are wild. Darksteel Mutation, I love this. I want to get that. I mean, I want to get all the uncommons. I'm just kind of waiting until they come out, you know, to kind of see where they end up. I really like these Battle Bond lands. I don't know if I like them too much at 12 right now. I actually kind of like the Commander Legends Borderless ones better. But hopefully it'll drive the prices down. Path to Exile Borderless is gorgeous. That may end up being worth the $5 just because of how cool it is. And then, you know, we just get into, like, Generous Gift at 5. I think they're just throwing random stuff up for, like, the purpose of getting some value estimates. we'll see where it all settles, right? 35 on Darksteel Monolith. That's a good one, too. I like that a lot. Sold out, though, so it doesn't really matter. I just have high feelings for that card. Nadier's Nightblade. Actually, like a $3 to $4 uncommon from a Commander Legends. $3 for this. Not bad. Elvish Mystic, another really popular card. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff here. 99 cents on Command Sphere, Faithless Looting. Like, if you're interested in ordering some of this stuff, there's definitely, you could do worse. Oh, Composer of Shrink Borderless sold out at 20. I liked him too. I felt like that was a good card. This card's like 40 on TCG Player. It sold out here at 8. You know, just kind of comes down to looking around. So, yeah, CardKingdom's pre-order prices aren't horrible, but I definitely don't think that they're, like, amazing. That's not to say that there's not a few good deals to be found if you're really just wanting to get your hands on this stuff sooner. You know, my personal recommendation for a lot of this is just to wait, because I think at this point, like, they're not going to ship until the set releases anyway. So on TCG Player, eBay, you'll be able to start buying stuff the same time they'd really be shipping here, and you may be able to get better competition. But if you're in an urgent rush for stuff, or there's some stuff you just want, you know, there are a few deals on here that I think are pretty good and worth checking out. So, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And, you know, just a quick peek before I end the video, and some of the foils even aren't bad here. You know, foil Elvish Mystic, $2.99. That'll probably stay around that rate. You know, a lot of the borderless foils, especially for the non-rares, you know, are looking pretty good. And foil etched is going to be a hard market because there's just not going to be as many of them. And they're only in the collector boosters, and they're going to be relatively scarce. So I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't even list some of these yet, because they don't know how many they're going to have and what numbers they're going to be coming into. Either that or they listed a low quantity. So just some food for thought here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to join the channel membership. All month of August, channel members do get free booster packs, so check out the description for details on that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.